I've been using Procreate for a year now, and in this video I'll share some tips and tricks I wish I knew when I first started using Procreate. So if you are new, welcome to the channel and let's get started. These are not in any specific order, this can be random, but I've tried to keep similar tips together and form sections in the video. So to start off, the first thing is organization. So you can organize your files in folders and you can rename your files and folders. If you create a new file and let's say screen size, you'll see it just lies around here. You can tap and hold a file and you can drag it. So if you move it onto another file, it moves it inside the stack. If there are only two files, it will first create a stack and then you can move the files in the stack as well. Then you need to rename your files. So just click on a file name and you can add a name to the file. Similarly, you can click on a stack name and you can rename a stack as well. This helps in the export and backup as well, which we'll talk about later in the video. The next step is to save your most used canvas sizes. So if you tap on the plus button, Procreate saves a history of all the canvases you have created. So you'll see some are untitled canvas. So if you swipe on a canvas, you'll see the edit button. If you click on edit, you can click on the name and you can add whatever name you want to it. So this way you can save all the canvases you use frequently. Like I use this Instagram square and Instagram portrait format, which is 1080 by 1350, and also use a DPI of 300 so your lines don't get blurry or you get clean lines. The next batch or section is about shortcuts. So there are a lot of shortcuts in Procreate and the most basic ones are 2-finger tap to undo and 3-finger tap to redo. But you can also hold down 2 fingers for a rapid undo and you can hold down 3 fingers for a rapid redo. You can also change the timing of it by going into the settings, preferences and rapid undo delay. This changes when the rapid undo initiates. So after 0.56 seconds of holding, the rapid undo will start. If you swipe 2-3 times with 3 fingers, you can clear the layer. So swipe with 3 fingers and it clears the layer. Next is, if you are working in zoomed out or zoomed in on a specific part of a page, you can quick pinch to make the canvas full screen. So let's say you are working at this size, you can pinch quickly to make the canvas full size. You can tap with 4 fingers to hide the UI and tap again with 4 fingers to bring the UI back. Then in the layers panel, you can tap with 2 fingers on a layer to adjust opacity quickly. Swipe to the right with 2 fingers to toggle the alpha mask of a layer. You can swipe with 2 fingers again to turn off the alpha mask. Let's say you have 4 layers and you want to select multiple. So click on a layer and then swipe right on other layers to select multiple of them. Hold them and drag them onto canvas to duplicate all the layers quickly. Then you can pinch upon layers to merge them. So hold your thumb on the lowest layer and your finger on the toppest layer you want to merge and pinch them together and you can merge all the layers together. So let's talk about colors now. The latest version of Procreate added the cards function. You can now see the colors in bigger swatches as well as the color names as well. You can also tap on any color to change its name as well. You can write any name you want or you can keep it to default. Let's say you want to create a color palette from an image you like. So you just open it in your Photos app, open your palette, pick and hold the image and then drag it onto your palettes. It will take some time and it will create a swatch from the colors of the photograph. Another great feature is drag the color palette from the top and keep it as a floating window. So you can open a palette and then you can keep it as a floating window. Select the colors quickly and draw from there directly. So this helps to select the colors quickly. You can also drag and drop the colors from here as well. So if you drag a color from the top, sometimes it fills more shape than what's required. So if you don't let go of the pencil and drag the pencil to the left or right, it will set the threshold the color fills in. So drag a color and drag the pencil to the left to reduce the threshold so it fills only the shape you want to fill. Next thing is continue filling with recolor. So when you drop a color, you'll see this short bar at the top. Click on it and you'll see a cursor. So if you move the cursor somewhere else, you'll see it also fills up. So you can move cursor wherever you want and then tap on it to color fill the place. Also, this flood is the same threshold we talked about earlier, but it's now a global threshold of all the shapes you have filled in. The next section is about selection methods. If you click on this third option in the toolbar above, you can make selections. So let's say you want to move this arrow. If you tap on this ribbon in the toolbar and select the freehand selection, you can make a selection around an object. Click on this gray dot to close the selection and then select this mouse pointer to move it around. You can also turn on magnetics and snapping to snap the items while you move them. You can also use the selection tool to fill in colors. So select the selection tool and turn on this color fill at the bottom. Select, let's say, rectangle, and you can drag and it will fill in the colors. You can also tap the color fill to remove the colors also, and it will fill in the same color always. You can change your selection and it will still fill in colors. So let's say you make a selection and it doesn't close it here. You have to tap on this gray button to actually close the selection while doing in freehand. Another tip is the quick menu while using the selection tool. So select your object and then let's remove the color fill and then swipe down on the screen with 3 fingers. So that invokes a quick menu of copy and paste. So you can copy all, duplicate, cut and paste. So let's select duplicate and it duplicates the shape onto a newer layer. Here's a bonus tip. You can comment down below if you want to learn more about any of the tips mentioned in the video, and I'll try to make a detailed video on that. Also, if you're enjoying, give a like and subscribe for future videos. Next section is about the ease of use. So if you're using Procreate for the first time, you might notice some strange marks on your canvas. So that is because your wrist is touching the canvas. So if you go to the wrench tool, go into preferences and gesture controls, you can go into the general tab and disable the touch actions. So if you keep it off, your wrist or fingers will make marks on the screen and work as a brush, but if you turn it on, they will not make any unnecessary marks on the screen. So let's go into the preferences again and select pressure and smoothing. So you see this curve. This curve controls the sensitivity of the pencil. So let's say you have a brush which is pressure sensitive. So you have to press down really hard on the brush to change the shape of the brush. So that can damage your screen in the long run. So go into pressure and smoothing and change the curve to something like this, or you can experiment with the curve as well. So now you have to apply a lot less pressure and you can see a quicker change in the stylus. So that produces the same effect but with a lot less pressure, which will help save your screen and your Apple Pencil as well. Next thing in the same section is the stabilization. So if I increase this to max, you will see that I cannot really draw where I am drawing. It stabilizes it so much that it creates these weird shapes. So if you are going to use it, keep it to around 30% for all your brushes, which gives a smooth lines as it doesn't take over your pencil as well. I personally turn it off and do the stabilization of the brushes individually, which I'll show you in the next section. The next thing is the quick menu. So if you go into the preferences and gesture controls, you can see a quick menu here. So I have set it to tap and touch as well. So what it does is, if you tap on this button right here, it invokes a quick menu where you last made a pencil stroke. So let's say if I drew here last time and I tap this button, it invokes the quick menu here. That's why I've set it to tap plus touch also. So I tap and hold this button and tap with my another finger anywhere on the screen. So it invokes the quick menu there. So I keep holding it and tap anywhere else on the screen with another finger and it opens the quick menu here. So this is a customizable menu and you can tap and hold on any action to change it. I've set it to these features because I use them most of the time. Also, you can press on the quick menu as well and add in another quick menu. So let's say go to quick menu 2 and there are no actions selected. So long press on the action and select brush. So this way you can have a quick menu just for your brushes. So you can set your favorite brushes in it and select them quickly instead of going through this whole brush library. And you can switch between the quick menus as well. Next thing, let's talk about brushes. So in the latest Procreate, you have a recent section in which you will find all the brushes that you used recently. If you use a brush regularly, you can also swipe on a brush and pin it to this section so it stays on the top. You can also clear it and swipe and clear it, or you can also pin and you can unpin it. What you can also do is, if you swipe down on this list of brush library, you can see a plus icon. So if you click on it, it will make an untitled set. So let's say rename it to most used. So now what you can do is, let's say you use the 6B pencil a lot. So swipe on it and press duplicate. Now click and hold on it and then take it over the most used section. Sometimes it doesn't work, so what you can do it, while you're holding this, you can tap on the most used section with another finger and drop it in there. So let's say you use this gel pen. So you can duplicate it, tap and hold on it and click on the most used and drop in here. This way you have a duplicate set of brushes that you used most recently. Always duplicate your brushes before you make any edits to it. So let's say you want to edit this gel pen. So tap on it and let's see the stabilization. So this way you can increase the amount of stabilization of individual brushes to get better control from all of them. There's also an inbuilt brush library also in Procreate. So let's say you want to edit this pen. So click on it and go to the shape. If you click on edit and then click on import, select source library. You will see that there are inbuilt shapes which are great to use if you want to create new brushes. Let's select this leaves one, click done and increase the maximum size. Also let's increase the spacing. So let's keep it to this. And now if we draw with this brush, you will see that we have beautiful leaves. You can play around in the editor to edit brush to your likings. So let's say you are coloring in this shape and you have a bigger brush like this. So you color in like this and now you have all the corners left. So you zoom in and you tap on it, but the brush cursor is still the same. So what you can do is, either you can reduce the size and keep changing the size until you find the best one, or what you can do is, let's say your brush is this big, you go on to the preferences and turn off dynamic brush scaling. So what it does is, your brush size is this big, but when you zoom in, it stays the same relative to the canvas. So it makes it a lot easier to use the brush at the same size and it will adjust automatically to the canvas size. So as I zoom in more, the brush will automatically reduce in size. You can also see this circle thing around the brush. This can be changed from preferences and brush cursor. So if I turn it off and now I draw, you cannot see the cursor. It is really helpful for some brushes like this one. Let's say I'm drawing it and I don't know where the shape will end. But let's say if I turn on the brush cursor, I will actually see where the shape is going and what are the boundaries or the edges of the shape. A general tip about using brushes is, Procreate comes with a ton of brushes and you really don't need extra brushes. So when I started, I downloaded a lot of brushes, but the default brushes in Procreate are adequate enough for all your needs. You can try out newer brushes from different artists, but don't depend them on too much. Instead, use the brush you like and edit it and make it unique or to your own preferences. So I use most of these brushes here, and these are edited brushes from the default Procreate brushes, and I customize them to my liking. Let's say you are using a brush which has a texture in it. Let's say you want the same eraser as the brush you are using. So what you can do is, instead of tapping on the eraser, you can long press on the eraser and you'll see ribbon appeared erased with the current brush. So now the same brush is selected in eraser as it was in the brush panel. This also works the other way. So if you select, let's say, this leather wood in the brush panel, and you'll see I have the hearts in the brush panel. If I tap on the eraser again and I long press on the brush, it changes the brush to this one. Also, to quickly switch between your last color and your current color, Tap and hold on the color and it switches to the previous color. Next thing is, if you are drawing something and you want, let's say you have completed the line art stage, now you are ready for the inking stage. So you can swipe left on your file and you can create a duplicate, so you've saved the original work. You can also do this, let's say you have created a file and you want to try some animation on it, so you can duplicate the file and keep a backup of the original file instead. Tap on the new file and keep drawing in the newer one. If you are resizing things too much, they will become pixelated, so it's recommended if you are doing line art, adjust all your sketch before it and then do the line art when you are happy with the sketch, so it does not get pixelated when you adjust it later in the stage. Also, when you are scaling up things, use bicubic interpolation. It will give you the best results. Next step is about using references. So let's say if you are drawing something, you can either open your app in the split screen, like I open Pinterest and draw from here, or what you can do is you can go to the wrench icon, go to canvas and select reference. So what it does is you can either set it to canvas, image or face. So in the canvas, if you're drawing something zoomed in and let's say you're adding details to this part, so you can see an overall picture here in the reference. Another thing you can do is select image, import image and select your image. This way you can have a reference here and you can draw on the canvas. You can also resize this window as well. Also, you can color pick from the reference directly. So let's say you open up the reference here and you color pick the color, so you can color it here. So you can tap and hold to color pick and draw here as well. So if you have a shape and you want to draw inside the shape only, so there are a few options you have. So if you draw something on it, you will see that it goes outside the shape. So let's select the layer and turn on the alpha mask. You can tap on the layer and click on alpha mask, or you can swipe with 2 fingers to the right to turn on or off the alpha mask. So when the alpha mask is on, you will see a checkerboard pattern around the object. So now if you draw something, it will stay inside the lines only. So if I select a bigger brush, you will see my cursor is outside the shape, but it's drawing only inside the shape. Let's say you want to do this, but you want to do this on a separate layer. So just add another layer, click on it and select clipping mask. So now if you draw something, it will only draw where the two shapes overlap. So let's say you want to create gradients. So you can go into the effects panel and select Gaussian blur. Then you can slide to adjust the blur and you will see that it creates a gradient effect. So you can adjust the blur and set it to where you like. The last and most important thing I want to talk about is backup. So if you have the iCloud storage or the iCloud backup on, your files from Procreate will automatically back up, but you should also manually back them up. So how you can do them is, you can open up your Files app, open up any file you want to backup, click on select and swipe to select multiple files, click and drag to select them and drag them to the Files app. So you will see that it backs them up in the .procreate format. So you can also change this, but you should keep them in Procreate format as well. You can change this by going into your settings, Procreate, and this preferred file format. Keep it to Procreate PSD, or you can change it to PNG and JPEG as well. You can also quickly share a file by swiping left on a file and you will see share, duplicate and delete. The last thing is to back up your brushes. So let's say you edited some brushes and you made customizations to them. So you click on a brush set and click on share, and then you can save it to files. Click on save to files and save it, and it will save it as a brush set. You can then open up the brush set and it will import. You can go into your brushes, swipe on any brush and click the share option to export it. This will export it as a Procreate brush file. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new. If you did, do let me know in the comments what you learned new. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one.